Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mike Kollin at crackthefemalecode.com. Alright, so I'm thinking about titling this video, Idiots Led by Dumbasses. Okay, so I just happened to stumble across another guy's podcast, and he clearly has no clue when it comes to women. He doesn't understand women. In fact, he even starts out with saying, here, hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna re-listen to what he just said. So this guy has 400,000 followers, so he's getting up there, not quite 500,000, but a lot of followers. And I'm gonna explain why he has those followers. That's gonna shock you. So he starts out the video of, I pretty much think I have an idea of what's going on. Yeah, he just admitted, I don't know what's going on. Because if you know what's going on, do you know what you say? You say, I know what's going on. Let me show you. No, he said, I pretty much think I have an idea of what's going on. In other words, he doesn't have a clue. And yet 400,000 people are listening to this guy and have been for a couple years. And here's the thing, if you listen to his tone, he's just like, even though he's a grown man, he's kind of like this little bitchy child. He's frustrated. He's pissed off because he can't get what he wants. So instead of him just saying, I don't know what's going on, I don't understand women, but I want to find out. No, instead of just being honest with himself and honest with you guys, he sits there as, well, I think, kind of, sort of, maybe, should, I have an idea somewhere, kind of, sort of. And you know what? Every video I've seen this guy in, he always says the same bullshit. It's kind of like the word try. Well, I'm trying. And the word try is a bullshit word. It means you're not doing. And all these guys listen to this guy. It's like literally the dumbasses being led by the dumbass. This is literally the specific term, the blind leading the blind. Let me tell you what happens to my clients after they take my course. They walk out of this course going, holy shit, I understand women better than Tony Robbins. I understand women better than that Men from Mars guy. Holy shit, this is how you do it. Like, yeah, they walk out of the door going, this is what's going on. All of my clients have done the pickup artist courses, the Tony Robbins courses, the relationship courses. I mean, not the business. Tony's got the business shit down. He's really good at that stuff. They go, well, how come these guys aren't teaching this? I'm like, because they have no clue. They have no idea. You want to know why? Okay, I'll give you an example. And I'm going to break down what this guy was talking about, and then I'm going to explain it to you, and then you'll be like, oh, that actually makes sense. So this is a very logical, linear, left brain dude. Well, of course he doesn't understand women because the right brain is the female brain. He would have to spend time developing and learning how to open up to his right brain and spend a lot of time there and interact with women and go, holy shit, I actually understand her now. So you got all these angry groups, MGTOW, Red Pill, and there's a Manosphere. These are men who are pissed off at the world. They're pissed off at women because they don't understand them. Trust me, guys, if you fucking understood how to seduce a woman, you would get laid like a rock star. Women would treat you better. And I'm going to explain what he's talking about, and you'll be like, oh, no wonder why women treat us like shit when we do that. And this is the whole thing. It literally turns the whole game around. And I don't mean like, oh, now I'm going to be tricking women. I'm going to be manipulating women. No. This is a course that teaches men and women to give each other what we both want so we can both walk away fucking happy and satisfied. Alright, so I did this, this was a long time ago. I'm going to guess 14 years ago or something like that. It was a long time ago. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go to one of these pickup artist courses. I'm going to figure out what the fuck is it about these guys that they get so many fucking people to attend their courses. And so I looked at their marketing, and I kind of, that actually makes sense. I actually like that. And I was like, wow, okay, cool. And then I took the course, and I was like, yeah, that sounds really fucking good. Yeah, and all the other, yeah, lots of logical guys, yeah. And everyone, and we were digging it, like, for real. But then when we went to the club, this shit didn't work fucking at all. And I mean, okay, watch this. Not a single fucking dude even got a girl to open a conversation with them. They're like, get away, you fucking creep. And then we went to the Bubble Lounge, and the guy that was teaching the course, now, by the way, this is one of the top 3 freaking pickup artist courses that was big time 10 years ago or so. This was like in the book and everything. Okay, these were like at the top. Wasn't some like fly by night course. Now this is the first time I went to the Matrix. Okay, and because this is where they took us. I'd never been there before, never even fucking heard of it. And so boom, right off the bat, I start talking to the chick on the dance floor, and the trainer's mouth was just fucking wide open, and a couple of the guys from the course were sitting next to him. They were just locked onto me, and I'm like, what the fuck's wrong? Like, why is he looking at me? Because I'm like, this guy's an expert. I'm sure he could do much better than I can. So what I was doing was I was reverting back to the stuff that I teach. So the head trainer, like, he looked at me and I kind of nodded, like, fucking, like, right on, fucking dude. Well, this guy literally couldn't fucking talk to a fucking woman, dude. Like, nobody would talk to this fucking guy. He was good looking. He had his master's degree, fucking, et cetera, et cetera. So we ended up going back there the next night. Okay, so I got this girl's number, and then I went to the bar, started talking to some people. I was talking to another girl, and the trainer walked up and he kind of nudged me like, hey man, good job, bro. Well, I wasn't using his shit because his shit didn't fucking work. So the next night we went back there again, and it was the same freaking thing. And he was like, man, you're pretty good at this. I'm like, this is only my second night ever being in a club ever. He goes, what? I'm like, yeah, I was actually very intimidated about going to the clubs. So what happened was, he goes, hey man. I'm like, yeah, I swear to God. He goes, I've got some chicks coming. I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, I've got some chicks that are going to show up. I'm like, what? He goes, well, we've done trainings here before in San Francisco, and I met some chicks back then, and they're on their way. They never whoever the fuck they were, they never showed up. And the dude sat there all with the other guys, twiddling their fucking thumbs. I have a point to this. I'm going to explain why you believe these fucking courses work, and when it really comes down to it, they don't. So you're going to learn something here. So the next night, we went over to the Bubble Lounge, okay? So we were going over there. I'm talking, I went with a friend of mine. He signed up too. So we were talking to these two girls, and then again, the trainer came up and he interrupted us, and the girls just looked at him like, what the fuck? Totally had no rapport skills, broke rapport. And the girls were like, what the fuck? I was like, dude, we're kind of talking. Goes, oh, okay, well, I'm going to open up this, this crew over here. Or there's like some kind of like military terminology that this, I forget, it was like a circle of girls, and they have like a pickup artist term for it. It's like a military term. So all four of us turn and we watch him, and they're in a circle, and it was really obvious, like they didn't want anyone to intrude. It was a tight little circle. And he literally was trying to squeeze in, and one girl elbowed him back like get the fuck out. And he said, hey, blah, 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 blah. And he said some fucking dicky pickup line, and they looked at him like, what the fuck? Like, you little fucking nerd? Like a little child? And then he kept trying to push in. Finally, two of the girls go, get the fuck out, you fucking creep. And then he walks by like, oh, I guess they're a little uptight. And I'm kind of looking at him like, no, you just don't know what the fuck you're doing. So he came up to me later on. It might have been the next day, I don't remember. But he goes, hey man, he goes, what do you do? I was like, well, I'm an NLP trainer. He goes, no, that shit doesn't work. And I'm looking at him like, really, dude? Like, you sat there and watched me pick up girl after girl after girl. I'm like, what? And then I showed him my business card, and it says the Love Doctor, male to female communication specialist or expert. Here, let me pull it up. Oh, by the way, this is a picture of me many years ago. This is back I think it was about half a year after I took that course. This is the Matrix, and this is two girls that I met there about 20 minutes before I got them to sit in my lap. All right, so I hand him my business card, and it says, at the bottom, it says male to female communication expert. Here's what he fucking said, and even my client, we just dropped our mouths like, what? Like, oh, these people, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. He literally goes, no. That communication stuff, he goes, I tried that. That shit doesn't work. And he walked away. And I looked at my client. My client goes, dude, these guys don't know what the fuck they're talking about. I go, yeah. And I think they charged us like $4,000 for like a 4-day training. And it was only like 3-hour training a day or even less. And then we went out. They were supposed to guide us at the club. But he goes, hey, guys, just so you know, don't be coming up to me asking me questions, because I'm going to be trying to like score on chicks too. And we're kind of like, well, this is kind of what we're paying you for, because that was the advertisement, that we're going to give you advice and tips, and you can come up to us and ask questions, etc. And we'll be helping you and whispering things in your ear. And the guy flat out goes, don't bother me. So long story short, after 4 nights of going out, not a single guy, including the trainer, could open up a single conversation with any woman at the clubs at all. Except for me. There was another guy there. He was an Asian guy. He was about 26 or 28, something like that. And he was going to Stanford, and he was getting his doctorate degree for emergency, emergency medical services, like I think a trauma surgeon or something like that, to work in the emergency room. Smart guy, really cool guy too, man. So I got his number, and I got a couple of the other guys' number, and I called them all back 6 months later. I said, hey, so how's it going? Are the techniques working for you? Because I actually wanted to know, out of my own interest, like, is this just in my head, or are they just fucking shoveling a pile of bullshit? So all of them said the same thing. It didn't work, and they felt like they got ripped off. And then I called the doctor guy, and he said the same thing. He goes, honestly, dude, because I've been practicing everything they said. This shit is not working. But then he said something, because, it's funny, though. He goes, the marketing really sold me. He goes, the marketing was excellent. He goes, and then when I took the course, it made, and this is what he said, and this is what clicked with me. He goes, it made a lot of logical sense to me, and that's why I took the course. And that was when I went, aha. So here's what I realized. The marketing was left brain logical marketing, which of course is going to work for men. Nike, Adidas, Levi's, any company, Coca-Cola, etc. They would all tell you the same thing. The way you sell to men is you have to do it through the logical left brain way. Otherwise, they're not going to buy. Okay, and it's the same thing with women. You have to sell to women in the right brain way. Now here's the deal. The course was the same way. It was step 1, step 2, step 3, rule number 1, rule number 3, rule number 4. This is all left brain processing. This is left brain linear, logical, mathematical processing. So, of course, our brains are like, yeah, man, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And here's what I realized. The reason why we were so fired up was because it made sense to us, which means it's not going to work on women. Because women are right brain. You have to communicate, talk, and do things in the right brain way. If you don't do that, you're going to irritate them, turn them off, and they're going to be like the buffalo herd where they make that big circle and they block you out. And they will do that. Here's the deal. I know when you guys take my course, you're going to be like, this is weird. This doesn't make sense. I know. Good. If it doesn't make logical sense to you, that means it's going to work. Because if it made fucking sense to you, it wouldn't work in the real world with real women. If you've come this far in this video, congratulations, because I'm actually doing right brain teaching. What I'm doing is I'm slowly conditioning your brain to see things in the other way. Now, as you've seen this image before, and I've said it before, this is a client of mine from about 5 years ago, Adam. Adam did not read the whole book, Cracked Female Code. I wrote the book so your brain wouldn't have a meltdown when you finally showed up. And this is kind of why I'm making all these videos. I'm putting a lot of pre-training stuff in here, so when you walk in the door, you're like, oh, okay. So it's not like a pickup artist course. Adam, in the middle of the 3rd day, literally had a breakdown. He cried and cried and cried and cried because he was like, it's called cognitive dissonance. So you can read this whole thing. You can stop it after I say what I'm about to say and then read the whole thing. So essentially, cognitive dissonance is when somebody brings you new information that is in total conflict with what you already were taught or what you firmly believe. So here's the deal. Adam came in with his absolute belief of this is how you pick up on women, this is how you talk to women, and it was all completely fucking wrong. But he really strongly believed it. And then he and I would go out, and everywhere we went, women would approach me, women would talk to me, and they would completely avoid him. They just did not want to talk to him because he was very left brain, very male. So I was doing all the stuff that I call the indirect way, the internal way, and all these words to the male brain, like, what is that? This is the right brain way, because remember, it triggers the female's mating system. So he was so sure that he was right that he was looking at me like, well, that's not the way you do it. And yet he, no matter where we went, whether it was grocery store, restaurant, coffee shop, club, like he couldn't meet anyone. I'm like, dude, why are you doing that shit? That shit doesn't work. I go, why don't you just listen to what I've been teaching you? But he was so locked in on this is the way you do it that he didn't want to let it go. So this isn't the image I really wanted. There's another one that says it better. So essentially what happened is Adam had these strong beliefs of this is the way it works, even though in his own life it didn't, because that's why he came out to take the course, okay? It was like, I'll explain that later, because it was a real mind fuck for him, his own mind fuck. So here I was, everywhere we would go. I would literally walk in the restaurant. I wouldn't even approach the hostesses. He'd go up there with his expensive business suit on, clean cut, all freshly dressed and freshly showered. And they literally, all three of the girls turned around, like turned their backs to them. And finally, one girl kind of went around the booth and pointed at me and goes, "Sir, can I help you?" And Adam got just fucking almost indignant and furious. And I go, "Yeah, 2, please." And she goes, "Your name?" I go, 2 for Mike, please." She goes, "Okay, we'll be right with you in a minute." And here's the deal. They ended up sitting us before all these other people that were waiting because I was doing something that the male brain can't recognize or see. So we sat down. Adam was fucking pissed. He was fucking furious. And then a waitress from this was a big restaurant, by the way. If you come down to the training, I'll take you to the restaurant. It's a big restaurant. From the far end comes all the way over. She goes, "Oh, can I get you guys some drinks or water?" And I remember looking at her like, because I saw her when I came in. I was like, she was way the fuck over there. And I knew what it was. What I'm doing, it causes women to be drawn to you. And I said, "Well, aren't you like over in that section?" She goes, yeah. I'm like, "So why?" I don't know. She goes, "Oh, I'm just trying to help." I was like, yeah, I'd like a water." I go, Adam goes, "No, I don't want nothing," because he was fucking pissed. So it's like this thing that we're reading here. It says the brain's alarms go off when a person feels threatened on a deeply personal and emotional level, causing them to shut down and disregard any rational evidence that contradicts what they previously regarded as truth. So here he is looking at me going, "No, this isn't the way you do it," and yet it was working. I was dressed in a hoodie. Adam was dressed in an expensive $2,000 or $3,000 business suit. My hair hadn't been cut in a month. He just got his hair cut the other day. Adam's a personal trainer and he owns a gym downtown London Square. I don't. Adam makes more money than me. Adam has a nicer condo, nicer fucking everything. And yet he's like, "Wait, this doesn't make any sense to my brain." And it was the next day at noon when he had the nervous breakdown. He literally, because his brain had this massive conflict, and we took a break. I said, "Why don't we just take the rest of the afternoon off?" And when we got together, I said, "We're not going to do any more training together. Why don't you go to your hotel, take a sleep?" And I said, "Let's just go out casually. Let's not pick up on women. No pressure. We'll just, get some dinner and just go to a club or wherever you want to go. We'll just hang out and just have fun." So essentially, here's what he said. And then I'm going to get back to the pickup artist courses and explain something. He said, everything you were teaching me and doing was not what the pickup artist courses teach you to do. I'm like, "Well, yeah, those things fuck you up. You haven't figured that out yet?" And he goes, "What?" I go, "When did you start struggling with women?" He goes, "Well, about a certain age." I go, "When did you start taking pickup artist courses?" He goes, "Oh shit, it was that same year." I go, "Yeah, exactly." Now, Adam was proud that he went to all these pickup artist courses throughout the world and Europe and London and the United States and traveled the world to study with the best. I'm like, "Well, how well did that work for you?" And he said, "Not very well, because otherwise I wouldn't be out here." I go, "Exactly. So why don't you start listening to me so you can learn how to develop this stuff?" By the way, that was my car back in the 90s. It was an 82 280ZX, and it looked exactly like that. It was in primo condition. All right, so let's go back to the pickup artist course, and I can wrap that up and explain why I brought that up and explain the whole story. So here I am picking up all these women, and the pickup artist coach trainer couldn't fucking open a single set of girls. And in fact, they rebuffed him. It wasn't just this one group of girls. It was every time he tried to approach girls, they were like, "Sorry, we don't want to talk to you. We're like having our own conversation." Like, he was doing this linear pickup line openers and all the lines and shit. And that just irritates the piss out of women. But it was also his energy or the way he was using his body language. He also came into class the last day and he had blood dripping out of his nose. And I go, "Yo," and I knew what that was. It was a fucking sign of cocaine abuse. And I go, "Yo, bro, you might," because I actually caught him at the door, and I was like, "Oh, fuck," because if all the guys saw that, they'd be like, "Oh, fuck." So he used cocaine to build up his confidence. I don't touch drugs, can't stand drugs. I don't smoke. I almost never drink. I don't. And that's another thing, by the way. When I go out to meet women, I don't drink at all. If you rely on drinking, you're going to become an alcoholic. So after 6 months after that course, I'm like, it was kind of okay. My own mind was kind of like Adam in a way. There was a little bit of cognitive dissonance because I really believed in what they were selling, like the marketing, the advertising, the emails they were saying, like, "Dad, this makes a lot of sense. This makes a lot of sense." And then the course itself was like, "Fuck, dude, this is some cool fucking shit." But then when we went out, like nobody got laid, nobody got a number, like nobody could even open up a conversation, including the trainer, all 4 nights. So when that doctor, or the guy that was about to be a doctor, said, it made a lot of logical sense, that's when my alarm bell, or the bell went off, and I was like, oh shit, that's what it is. They're teaching logical stuff, and it makes the male brain go, that makes sense. Now, if you've studied NLP or hypnosis, you would know that people go into rapport when you think like someone, use the same part of your brain like someone, and use the same language, the unconscious sub-language that someone uses. You like the person, you feel comfortable, like, yeah, I believe this guy. Now, let's go back to this YouTube video, this guy that's got 400,000 followers, and all these guys have been listening to this guy for fucking years. Here's what's going on. You've got a bunch of guys, literally 500,000 guys, it's probably more than that, I'm sure a lot more people that didn't subscribe listen to him. And here's the deal, they're all having the same problem. All of them. So as this guy begins to talk, they're like, man, I can relate to that, man. Yeah, I can relate. Yeah, this guy's making a lot of sense. So not only is he a male using the male language, which makes your brain go, yeah, fuck this guy, I can relate to this guy. But the subject and what he's talking about and his difficulties with women, they're going, yeah, I'm having the same fucking thing. Hell yeah, man. Speak the word. Preach, brother. So now you got a bunch of men gathered up in this group on all these different channels, listening to some guy bitch and moan and complain about why they don't get laid, about why life's unfair, why life's not fair, and how women this and women that, blame, point. And they're all going, yeah, man, they're all gaining rapport in failure. So here's the answer to the modern male's, experience, whether it's red pill or manosphere, MGTOW, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. The answer is, well, we don't understand. We all suck together, so I give up and I fucking quit. And now you're a fucking loser. That is the literal definition of being a loser. But what if there was a man who came along and said, hey, I really have the answer and I can show it to you. And the more I show it to you, the more it makes sense. And the more the pieces come together and the more results, real life results in the world actually happen in your life that you get. Let me tell you what this really comes down to. I already know that your unconscious mind, your solar plexus, your body, your heart, whatever, your intuition, you guys already know that I'm telling the truth. Based on my energy, based on the feeling you're getting, and based on what I'm saying. So that's not even a question. Here's what the real question is. Do you want to be a champion or do you want to be a champion? Which means a chump, basically. So you can join that guy's 400,000 subscribers and you guys can just all sit in a circle and bitch and moan and fucking complain. Or you can come to me and you can get real life examples, real training, real mind conditioning, and an actual teaching that teaches you how to understand women, love women, romance women, get along with women, and seduce the fuck out of women in a way that women want. The more you do it, the more social power you gain, and the more power you get in dating, relationships, and sex. I mean actual choice. This is what I'm talking about. Do you want to go through life where you don't have a choice and you just got to accept the first woman that accepts you? Or do you want to be able to pick who you want to be with? That's what my course offers you. Hey, this is Mike Kollin at MikeKollin.com. If you guys really want to learn how to meet women, pick up on women, seduce women, make your wife happy. Now here's the deal. I don't mean supplicate or be a simp or any of that shit, but in fact, here's the deal. Oh yeah, I forgot the whole purpose of this video. This is going to answer what I was just talking about. So you got this guy with the 400,000 followers going, I think maybe kind of sort of, and this is what I'm fucking trying, all the bullshit words, right? And he's talking about how, oh yeah. All right, I just re-listened to kind of sharpen up on memorizing what he was saying. He was saying, here's basically what the idea that women have. If you try it all, if you put any effort into the date or any effort into the relationship, then you're just a try hard, and then they don't have respect for you and they treat you like shit. Enter the caveman. Wow! Alright, so in a video in the past, I don't know, about a week ago or whenever it came out, I talked about the caveman and the way they were designed and how this designed our mating system in our low reptilian brain. It was designed during the caveman era. I'm going to go super fast because I've explained this in like 2 videos already. So what happens is the female's mating system was designed to chase the caveman. Why? Because if she didn't, she would not fucking survive. It meant she was gonna fucking starve to death, get beat to death, or freeze to death. She was going to die and suffer the dire consequences, meaning the ultimate pain. You have to remember, back then there was no such thing as political correctness or the feminist movement or any of that bullshit. The caveman didn't give a fucking shit. He was fucking hungry. He didn't go, honey, is it okay if I go to the store and get some food? Like a fucking modern bitch. No, he was hungry. He woke up. He looked around. He saw a deer. He fucking chased after it, killed it, fucking ripped it apart and started eating. And it would behoove her, if she wanted to live, if she wanted to feed her belly, to chase, literally physically chase after him, because he didn't go slow. He didn't wait for her. He didn't say, hey, come on, catch up. No, he didn't give a fuck. And that's what's got us back then. Back then, there was no police, there was no judges, there was no fucking jails, there was no fucking nothing. The caveman came when he wanted, left when he wanted, did what he wanted, and that was it. He didn't ask her fucking permission. So now, fast forward to the modern era where men are brainwashed and have been conditioned. Now, here's the deal. The female brain has a part in it that can outthink a male. It can literally do circles. The male brain is just stuck on, it's just locked onto one fucking option. Where the female brain doesn't do that. It goes left, right, 1 over 2 over 3 over 5, 15, 20 degrees, 50 degrees, 180 degrees, 177, 190, 280. It goes up, down. It goes above you, down, underneath. It can outthink you, and the modern female has conditioned men to do as they're told and to do their bidding. Unfortunately, this is a massive turnoff. It is a mistake in the female mating system. This is the part that was designed, technically the right brain, sorry. It was a part of the brain that was designed to rear children. All right, here's the deal. When you take my course, when you pop open your right brain, when we go out in public, you're going to look at other men and go, dude, they're like little boys, like begging for permission. I'm like, yeah, I mean everywhere. When your fucking eyes open up, you're going to be like, it'll freak you out. It will freak you out. You're going to be like, well, what's wrong with the men in this area? I go, dude, I've done this in San Diego. I've done this in Los Angeles. I've done this in Washington, D.C., Something Falls, which is near Washington, D.C. I've done this in Kansas. I've done this all over the country. I've done it with men that have flown in from all over the world. The shock when you see it it's going to be unsettling for a while. I mean, weeks, maybe even months, and you're going to finally just go, Jesus Christ, I had no idea how much power women have. Women have all the fucking power. You guys are just idiots if you think you have the power. The only way you can get the power is by taking my course and really getting good at being in your right brain. And then, boom, and then women respect you, and then women honor you. They love you, and they'll please you. They'll laugh at your jokes. They will do all kinds of things like, wow, this is a lot better. And here's the other thing that's going to happen. Guys around you are going to be dicks. They're going to get jealous. They're going to be like, and they'll literally say, they'll walk, who the fuck do you think you are? And you're just like, I'm just fucking standing here. What are you talking about? Because while you're standing at Starbucks or wherever waiting for your coffee, all the girls are checking you out, and they're all smiling and kind of looking at you in the corner of their eye, and the women walking in are doing the same thing, and the guys are going to pick up on, why aren't they looking at me? So what those guys are going to do, they're going to join the manosphere. They're going to join that guy with 400,000 followers, and they're just going to listen to all the reasons why women suck and why relationships don't work and why this sucks and why men get treated like shit. And here's the thing, though. Okay, watch this. This is the odd, bizarre thing. They are absolutely right. Women are treating men like shit. And women are, like what he said in the thing, it's like, well, now they call you a tryhard when you try to add to the relationship or when you try to do something on a date. Because that's not your job. You do not have a vagina. Her job is to cook and clean. Her job is to bring you food. But when you don't understand why, she won't do it for you. Once her mating system realizes that you're a beta male, that you're a beta bitch. Now what you think is an alpha male is a beta bitch. Alpha males don't fight each other. Alpha males don't try to dominate each other. That's what betas do. So basically, you think what an alpha male is the top strongest beta or the most aggressive beta that's beating down all the other betas. He's still a fucking beta. Have you ever seen that video or any kind of video where you got these two, I don't know, like smaller, like either dogs in Africa or the African dogs, which are real powerful, or the hyenas, or there's another animal where they will fucking fight each other over some stupid fucking thing, like over a piece of meat or something, and the lion just walks right up and they can't even fucking see him. The lion's literally standing 10-15 feet away looking at them like, what a bunch of fucking idiots. And then what he does, he gets a 2-for-1 deal. He fucking waits for them to battle each other out, injure each other, and then he fucking breaks both their fucking necks and he fucking kills them both and either eats them or just walks off. And this is exactly what women are privy to. They're sitting there watching you guys argue and fight, look like a bunch of jackasses because you guys think you're alpha males. Alpha male would never do that in a billion fucking years. Alpha males help each other get what they want. They're smooth, they're relaxed, they get along, they're understanding, they listen to understand. All the stuff that I teach you in my course, and believe it or not, but that skill set, listening to understand, is a huge skill set that I will teach you, and it'll blow your fucking mind how women respond to it. Because guess what beta males do? They listen to think. They listen to go, what am I going to say next? A lot of them go, I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. And then they interrupt her and blurt out what they think she's going to say. And all that does is just interrupt the conversation. It gives her a fucking headache. And she's like, I'm fucking out of here. Because you're a beta bitch. And that's what beta bitches do. Now I'm going to wrap it up with this. Okay, so, by the way, the only reason why I show this picture, I actually don't think that girl's that pretty, but she walked across the room in front of all these millionaires that were trying to pick up on her, and she picked me out of the whole fucking group. That was up in Oakland Hills. If you know anything about the Oakland Hills in Piedmont, very, very wealthy area. These are like the top people on the planet, man. So the friend I went with was a multimillionaire retired, and he was just like, I don't fucking get it. What is the... Because look at me. I'm kind of this rugged, gruff kind of fucking caveman looking fucking dude. And he's this fucking... Got this fucking dress shirt on, $400 dress shirt. And that shirt, literally, I bought at the fucking mall for $22. I kid you fucking not. And all these millionaires are going, what the fuck? Like, and they would walk with my friend like, who the fuck is this guy? Here's the point. You think, oh, he's bragging. No, I'm fucking telling you, you can learn how to do this. You don't have to be tall. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to be muscular. You don't have to have a skinny waist. You don't have to be a fucking woman. You don't have to eat like a fucking rabbit. I mean, look at my clients. They're happy for a fucking reason. This is Diego, one of the coolest guys I've ever met. This is a client of mine. Lives down in Brazil. This dude is always with a different hot chick, and I mean always. We're friends on Facebook, by the way. There's Adam again with the 2 chicks. The first step, buy my book, Crack the Female Code. Second step, take the course, Crack the Female Code. Third step, get laid. It's real simple. Take the course, do your exercises, practice a lot, get really good, and live the life of your fucking dreams in a way that you never even imagined. And that's the thing. The modern male, they're so far from this, they can't even imagine this. Remember, click subscribe, buy my book, and click the like button. See you guys in the next video. Bye.